it's Sam. So as most of you know, I have partnered up with Invisalign to change my smile and to get straight teeth. I'm so excited. So if in case you haven't watched my former vlogs kind of explaining why, how, what, I will link those down below so you guys can check out the first few videos, as this is going to be like an ongoing process of just kind of Invisalign update vlogs so that you guys can follow me on my journey. I want to thank Invisalign again for allowing me this opportunity to be their spokesperson, to get this Invisalign treatment, and to share my experience and my journey with you guys. So today's video is kind of just what to expect when you get Invisalign clear aligners. So basically the appointment itself is very, very quick. After your first appointment of all of your x-rays and the scan, and once they've already gotten all of your trays, then you go in for your appointment, and it's basically just to teach you how to put your aligners in. So I did not get any like attachments for the first appointment. So the appointment altogether took about 45 minutes. The first time I put them in, it was definitely difficult. It just kind of, it's just you don't know how to put them in. You don't know exactly, you know, how hard you can push, how hard you can pull when you take them out. So they just kind of teach you exactly like what you can do, what you can get away with. Like I was really nervous, like, oh, I don't want to push too hard on my teeth. You can push pretty hard. So when you first get the aligners, they are pretty tight. So especially if you do have a lot of crowding like I do, it's pretty crowded down there. But once you get them in and you realize like, oh, okay, it's really not that bad. The best way for me to put them in, and this is how they taught me, is to start in the front and then work your way back. Same with the bottom. You start in the front and then you work your way back. The best way to take them out for me, I've noticed on the bottom, I get the outsides and kind of just lift your nail up on each side. They said to vary with which side you start with first, so don't always do that side first, kind of switch it up. And then what I've noticed, because I have these two teeth that are crazy crooked, it works much easier for me to kind of loosen them up on the back, but then lift most of the on this. And that's how I get mine out on the bottom, just because they are really tight to these two teeth. And so when I try and get it up this way, it just doesn't really work, but it's good to loosen them up first. And then on the top, I've found out that the easiest way to get the top ones out is to go from the inside. So to get your finger, obviously make sure you wash your hands first, and to pull them out from the inside first. So again, working in the back, and you just kind of start with the back tooth and then kind of just work your way in and then loosen up that side as well. And then I kind of just pull them out like you would false teeth. It kind of feels like you're taking out false teeth when you take your aligners out, and then you're like, let me put them in my little tray. So they give you a little tray like this, and then you just bing. That's where you want to keep them all the time. So if you are, I mean all the time that they're not in your mouth. So when you take them out, you're going to put them right in here because they are clear. So when you set them down, they kind of blend in. So you want to make sure you don't lose them, because this is like gold right here. You do not want to lose them. And then they also give you these little things, and they're called chewies. And they're basically, it's almost like a pool noodle. If you imagine just a really small pool noodle. And once you put your aligners in, so once you get the bottom and the top in, you chew like this. Chew. And you're supposed to do this for 5 to 10 minutes a day. You're allowed to have 2 hours out of your day that you don't wear your aligners, so you want to make sure that you're keeping them in for 22 hours a day. When you get used to wearing them, it's almost like you want them back in your mouth. It's really a weird, like it's funny how your body gets so used to something so quickly. So for me, I don't like to eat and kind of chit-chat and diddle around. I eat, and as soon as I'm done, I put them back in after I've brushed and flossed and mouthwashed and just made sure they're really, really clean. So the first day is definitely awkward. So basically, you're gonna put them in and you won't feel any discomfort at all. I mean, it feels like you can feel them in your mouth, but it's not like it's painful or, oh my god, this is so awful, I can't wait to get this out of my mouth. It's not that way at all. Then about 5 hours into the first day, I did start to feel, you kind of feel pressure. It's not a pain, like a ouch, like that's awful, I can't take it. It's more like, just like a lot of pressure and kind of like achy, if that makes sense. But it's definitely not painful. It's not something that's like unbearable. They're just kind of like a little bit sensitive, not like sensitive to cold, just kind of like to the touch. They were definitely a bit kind of sore. So like to bite into a peach was a little bit, you know, it kind of hurt a little bit. It wasn't like sharp pain. It was just kind of like, ooh, my teeth are not quite where they're normally at. I did find it like really difficult to try and pull out my trays in public just because I wasn't used to them. They were very, very snug. So I ended up not pulling them out for a really long time until I got home that night, just because there is a little bit of slobber that comes out when you take them out the first few times. Actually, like, I still get slobber when I take them out. So it's not the most flattering or glamorous thing when you're trying to take them out in public to like eat. You have to definitely get used to like taking them out and feeling like what kind of pressure you can use. Like, I just kept on feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't pull that hard, like, are my teeth gonna fall out? Your teeth are not going to fall out. Don't even worry. You can, you know, you can give them a good tug to get them out and it's fine. And really the only, it's like the first 2 days, 2 to 3 days are, even the third day was a lot easier. I would say it's just the first 2 days you really struggle trying to get them in and out just because you're just not used to them and they are a lot tighter. But then after the, I think like once the third day came, it was a lot easier for me to pop them in and out. It barely takes any time. Now that I'm on my almost week, I'm on my 6th day today, it's really a lot easier. Like, I don't even think about it. You just dink dink pull, dink dink pull, bam, you're done. The first 2 days I did find it kind of like an inconvenience to have to take them out to eat. So now it's not an inconvenience to eat at all. It's just part of my routine. I take them out, I eat, I do everything afterwards, brush them, whatever I need to do to get them all clean, and then I pop them back in and it's no big deal. You do have to take them out every time to eat. The only thing that you can do with them in is drink water. It seemed like the extra crooked teeth hurt the most. So like my back tooth back here, this tooth, and this tooth were more sore than the rest of the teeth. My right side, other than that tooth and that tooth, didn't hurt at all. Like, there was not even any discomfort. This side was definitely more discomfort, and I do have a tooth that's kind of like crazy back there, so that one hurt the most. And then, like I said, it just seemed like the ones that are a little bit more crooked had a little bit more discomfort than the others. You will notice that your lips will get dry, and I think it's just when you're first getting used to it, your mouth is just a little bit more open than it normally is, just because it kind of bumps up your lip a little bit. So you will have drier lips, so just keep that in mind. Just keep a chapstick. You will have a hard time with lip gloss because these just instantly attract any sort of glossy, thick, sticky anything that you have on your lips. So you're going to want to stick with something that is like either a matte finish or just a really light layer of chapstick. But any sticky glosses or thick glosses or anything that you usually can wear, I don't recommend. Oh, another thing that I noticed, you know, if you ever have dry lips and you can just like bite the lip off, which I'm so bad about, I do it all the time, you can't do it when you have the Invisalign in because it's like thicker, so you can't get a good like bite. I just thought that was like a random kind of thing to make note of. They are very, very nice and smooth on the tongue, so like in the back it's just a really silky smooth feeling, so it's not rough, it's not gonna like irritate your tongue or your lips or anything like that. I did have one of the trays, and they warned me of this. This one up here, there was just a little bit of a sharper edge, and it was weird because like the first couple days I didn't feel it at all, like there was no edge, but it's almost like as you wear them in your mouth it formed. And so I just got like a little sharp bit up here that was like rubbing on the inside of my lip. And so she said if that happens, just get a regular nail file and just kind of file off just the edges, just in case there are any sharp edges that form, you know, whenever you're wearing them in your mouth after a couple days. And then I filed it off and it was perfectly fine. It's gone away. I don't have any sore in my mouth anymore. It's completely gone. And it wasn't like a big sore. It's just like a little kind of like raw spot where it had been rubbing. So the nail file works perfectly. If that does happen to you, it'll be gone and you won't even have a problem whatsoever. So that was the only problem I had as far as like feeling, you know, like a sharp bit or anything like that. Everything else has been perfectly comfortable. You will notice that you do have a little bit of a lisp, or at least I do, and I still do, even though I am getting used to it. You have a lot more spit in your mouth. I do mouth breathe when I sleep, So I slobbered so much on the plane ride home. I woke up and I literally had a pool of like dribble slobber on my scarf. So if you're already a mouth breather when you sleep, prepare for drool. It will happen. And when you talk, you will notice a lot, you do have to pause a lot more to kind of like recollect your spit. I know that sounds really gross, but it's just part of it. So you just will find that your mouth is just a little bit more wet, if that sounds really gross, but I'm just telling you how it is. And you might notice that your sound, like your S's and your C's, are just a little bit sharper. So when you first bite down, when you first get them, it's a very like off bite. It's really quite strange. And so you feel like you can't bite down like you normally could. But then after like 3 or 4 days, when you have the Invisalign in, like now, I can bite and they all match up. But when I take them out of my mouth, like when I don't have them in when I'm eating, you can feel like it seems like your teeth have moved just a tiny scotch already, because your bite that you normally could do without the Invisalign is slightly off. So it's like almost moved to where the Invisalign is. So it's really cool because it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, it's working. I don't know if it can work this quickly, but I feel like this tooth has moved the tiniest little bit. It's not like a huge amount. I don't think anyone would notice it, but I like when I feel it and when I look at it, I feel like this one has moved a tiny scotch of a millimeter or something. So it's amazing. It feels really awesome. After the 3rd day, you don't feel any pressure anymore at all. Like I don't feel pressure in my mouth. I don't have any discomfort. I don't have any soreness. I don't feel any like anything. It just feels like I just have something in my mouth. And it's not something that feels annoying or like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get these out. You honestly feel weird without them. Once you've been wearing them for so long, I sleep with them, I shower with them, I do everything with them other than eat. You get so used to them that when you don't have them in, you really want them back in. So it's kind of like an addictive almost. It's like, maybe it's just my personality. I'm kind of one of those people that's like all or nothing. So for me, it's like, I want them in. I want to keep them in all the time. You know that it's going to be doing something good for you. So you want to keep them in as much as you possibly can. When you are going out to eat, it's just going to be a little bit longer of a step. I've had some people say you just rinse out your mouth with water. The people at my orthodontist recommended to brush after every single time I eat. And then my orthodontist also said, you know, if you don't have a toothbrush or if it's like a really difficult situation where you just are not able to floss or brush your teeth, she's like, as long as you just rinse your mouth out with water and kind of rinse out your trays with water, do it, and then once you get home or you're able to get to a spot where you can brush and floss, then do that. So this is what the trays look like. So you can see they're very, very clear. They gave me like a little toothbrush that I just brush the inside out of them and the outside of them just like you would your teeth, and then rinse them out with cold water, and then you just pop them back in once your mouth is all fresh and clean. Line your teeth. And then just pop them in. So that's all you do. It's really so easy. So what I love about them the most is that when I take a picture, like if I take a picture on Instagram, you really cannot tell that I'm wearing anything. Unless you get right up in my business and you're like about to kiss my face, then you can see them. Or like if I'm talking a bunch and I may be at the store and the teller's like right there, they probably would be able to see that my teeth just look really shiny. But it's nothing where you're like, oh my gosh, what's on your teeth? They're just not crazy noticeable. It just makes you feel more comfortable when you're an adult this age. I'm 29 years old. You just don't want to bring like all this attention to your mouth. So it really makes you feel comfortable and confident to still go about your normal day and not feel like everyone's just going to be staring at your mouth and be like, what is in her mouth? It's just been so far such an amazing experience. I cannot say enough amazing things about it. I'm just so excited to see each tray, how it changes. It's just going to be amazing. So I have 47 trays that I'm going to be doing. I will be taking pictures and letting you guys know through my whole journey exactly what I'm going through and what they look like. But so far, I'm just so happy. I just cannot tell you enough how exciting and amazed I am, excited and amazed I am at how awesome they've been so far. So if you have been thinking about Invisalign, at least go and get a consultation. I think a lot of people think that Invisalign is just for little minor cosmetic problems. As you can see, I got a pretty crooked smile. So don't be afraid that because you think, oh, my smile is too crooked for this, at least go and see what they can do, because they really can work with some major cosmetic issues. So it's not just for a little whoopsie anymore, you know? Check these days out. They're pretty crooked. And then they also have an express option. It's called Invisalign Express. So this is more affordable, and it can be done in as little as 10 weeks to kind of fix minor crowding, minor spacing. So if you do have just a little bit of, you know, cosmetic issues, then that could be an option as well for you. So you don't have to wear them for quite as long as someone like me. So that's something to look into as well. There's always options out there. Definitely get second opinions if you are thinking about doing something like this, because I think it makes a huge difference on the orthodontist that does it as well. Please comment below if you have any tips and tricks with your Invisalign that you feel have helped you, that you think might be helpful to me and to other people watching this. I would love to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, and my blog, samschuerman.com, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!